Hello everyone, this is Paul Wicker on the TapClicks product team, and I'm going to show you Data Exporter. So Data Exporter allows you to take any of the data that you have in TapClicks and send it to popular destinations like Snowflake or Amazon S3 or Google or FTP, Google BigQuery I should say, or FTP, and we'll set one up together right now. So in this example, we'll say that somebody wants maybe Facebook campaign spend sent to them. So I'm going to go ahead and pick at that. And if you're familiar with TapClicks, you know we have concept of data sources, smart connectors, channels, which are blended data sources. All of those are supported in Data Exporter. So I'm going to choose campaigns and spend to keep this simple. Okay, so that's the data that I want to send. Now, I might want to filter it. So if you're using clients, client groups, or business units at TapClicks, you can also filter the data. This is useful if you're an agency and you only want to send data for a client, or if you're in-house and you've split things up into business units. In this example, this is internal, so I want to send my finance team all the campaign spend data. The finance team uses Amazon S3, so I'm going to ask them, hey, I need this information so that I can set up the export to your S3 bucket. I might want to share the user credential permissions that are required. And for each one of our destinations, and you'll find we have most, if not all, of the popular destinations, we explain the credentials needed to set those up. So in this case, I'm just going to send it to my email because I don't have a Snowflake warehouse lying around. And this is a great way to test. So if you're a marketer and you don't have an S3 bucket or Snowflake, just send it to your email and you can see what the data looks like. Okay, so now I'm going to pick how much data I want to send. I'm going to start by sending a full year of data. So I'll do 365 days and I'll run this on demand rather than a schedule. Now, for email, I don't also want an email notification, but if this was a Snowflake export or Amazon S3 export, I might want to know every time the data gets delivered, or maybe I just want to know when there's errors. So I'd enter my email and get notified if the export failed because, say, someone changed their Snowflake password or something like that. Okay, so now I've created this Facebook campaign spend data export, this last one here, and I'm going to run it. So now we're going to go grab all the data that we have for the last year and send it over to email. So if I check my email, I'll get a simple message that has the data attached. And this is a CSV file. For FTP, email, Amazon S3, we deliver a CSV file. And as you'll see, each row is a unique date, and we aggregate the data to the date. Or in this case, it's just spend data by day. Now, the other thing to know is if it's a warehouse like Google BigQuery or a database like Postgres, we just write the data into the table, but it's the same format of one row per day. So now that we have data, let's go back into our data export here. And we can also see that we were able to send the data. It took 2 seconds to generate 341 rows. Everything looked good. So now my finance team has the spend data. But I want to make sure they don't just get it once, but I want to schedule it to run. So I'm going to schedule this to run every day at 9 a.m. And I don't want to send the full file every time. I only want to send maybe the last 3 days because you might know that Facebook sometimes changes their spend data slightly because of click fraud and things like that. So every day I'm going to send the last 3 days, and we'll just keep updating this every day. So it's now scheduled. I'll hit save. And now I have this kind of fully automated, and I can see how many rows get exported up here if I want to keep an eye on things. And if we set up error emails, if anything goes wrong, we'll get an email with a link to dive right into that exporter to see if there are any issues. So now you know how to set up a data exporter. So give it a try and let us know what you think.